Well, thank you all for being here. What a great day. I'm just so excited to be able to cut a ribbon, and we do have a ribbon, right? Yeah. Okay. Cut a ribbon on this really spectacular project. This is our Brinshore's first project in Utah, and on behalf of my partner, Rich Shortino, who's somewhere around here, where is he? He's right over there. We want to thank you all for trusting us with such an important project in the downtown, and I hope you're happy with what was created. Really, I don't want to bury the lead on this, because this project is really the vision of the RDA. And I think it was 5 years ago that, you want to get into volume? I think it was 5 years ago. Danny, is that right? 5 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. That an RFP went out, and the RDA looked at this and said, okay, what is everything we could possibly want in a development? Let's put everything, every idea we've ever had, every concept, anything that we've ever want, and see if anybody's stupid enough to try to do it. Well, we did try to do it, and we presented something to the RDA, and they selected us as an out-of-town developer, which was, quite a commitment. And it was the start of a really amazing partnership between Brinshore and the RDA and the city. And we built this through COVID, which was a crazy disaster. But we had all sorts of issues with, supply chain. We had interest rate changes, and we had all sorts of things. But through it all, we kept up lines of communication, and everyone associated with the project was helpful and thoughtful and provided solutions. We always got told what we can and can't do, and so we're able to function. And for those of you who don't know, the financing on this project includes 9% tax credits, 4% tax credits, 2 sets of bonds, 2 loans from the RDA, a home loan from the city, a home loan from the county, 2 loans from Oline Walker. Carla, what did I forget? State tax credits, city home, and the Call to Action Foundation, who I have to give a shout out to. We're in the middle of this project, and the South Building is suffering from cost escalations, and the Call Foundation stepped up and filled the gap so that we could finish the project at the level that we really wanted to do that. So I don't know, Drew is here somewhere, and his team. There they are right there, the Call to Action Foundation. Thank you very much. So for those of you who've never done a project with 10 tiers of financing, the lawyers did really, really well with this project. Anyway, I want to thank you all again. And since I did bury the lead, I'm going to lead with this now. I want to thank Whitney Weller. Where is she? Stand up. There she is, over there. Whitney is our senior development manager who's in charge of this project. She bled over this. She worked day and night on this. She was out cleaning windows for the last couple of days. And I just tell you that she was in love with doing this. And I hope that what you see is her vision for what is amazing affordable housing in downtown Salt Lake. So forever, we'll have her mark on this. So Whitney, thank you so much. I'm sure there's a million other people that I will thank over the course of time, but I suspect that the mayor wants to say her remarks, and I don't know if you can stay, but if you can, that'd be great. So Mayor Mendenhall, would you please come up and say a few remarks?
Thanks, David. How you doing today? Does anybody feel the sense of relief that I do that we're opening this now? I don't know if there's ever been a project quite like this. I've been in City Hall for 10 years, 6 years as a council person, RDA board member. I'm in my 4th year as the mayor, and this project has been present, this property, I should say, has been present in City Hall for a long time. Now, we're not going to go too far back to the past. Actually, I'll let Danny Walls take you there. But it's very rare that the city or the RDA acquires a parcel on the steps of the courthouse. But that's what we did to get this. We sent our RDA director out to the courthouse and said, it's okay, I can do without those notes. And said, go buy this property on the block, on the auction block. And that, thank you, David. That's how we got this property back. And our ambitions actually weren't hindered. They may have been put onto steroids by, which David mentioned, by the way we had to acquire this property. We still wanted something really fantastic out of it. And here we are in this canyon of affordability, of beauty, in the heart of downtown. And it is appropriate because the Aster project is about heart. It didn't just take 10 layers of financing. There were 12 sources of funding that came in to make this project a reality. And I referred to this at a groundbreaking we did last week for more affordable housing. This is what urban, modern-day barn raising looks like. It takes the village to put these housing units up. No one entity nor the private market can do it alone. We have to come together, and we're getting really good at doing it. We're breaking ground or cutting ribbons on projects almost on a weekly basis right now. And I'm so proud of this unique, beautiful project that highlights this gorgeous historic building behind us, which originally opened as a flower shop in 1890, I think it was. 1890 was when it was constructed. The fact that Brinshore said, yeah, we'll keep that, we'll fix it up, and David wishes they hadn't done that, but they did. It couldn't be more beautiful. This is what affordable housing can look like. To all of these conversations that are complicated, that capital cities, including ours across this country, are having about expanding access to affordable housing and expanding zoning and opportunities where they haven't existed before to create that affordability, look at this. This is gorgeous. We need more of this. So I hope with all of the comments of demise about wishing that perhaps you hadn't been so audacious as to say yes to our RFP, I hope you're hungry for more, because we need to do more and more of this. I can't thank the RDA enough. It would not have happened without Salt Lake City's redevelopment agency. The heart that I said is embodied in this project is rooted in the redevelopment agency of Salt Lake. We're good at this stuff. We want to do more of this. And so to all of you, many of whom we've partnered on other projects and projects that are in the ground right now, let's keep going. Stay with us. And thank you also, Brinshore. Bottom line, you do a beautiful job, professionally and transparently. And coming back to us actually went, I think, incredibly well with our city council / RDA board because of the consistent transparency that Brinshore brought to the table. It's not always easy to come back and ask for more money. So this is a big step ahead for more long-term affordability in the heart of downtown, and congratulations. Let's keep going.
The mayor's been involved with this project since she was on the council. So over and over again, but she has been a supporter of affordable housing for the 5 years that we've known her. So what she talks about is not just lip service, it's a commitment, thank you. A commitment to affordable housing and to quality affordable housing in Salt Lake. I would like to ask Wayne Niederhauser from the Office of the Governor to come up. Wayne, there he is.
Thank you, David, and congratulations. This is a beautiful project. I don't have the history as much as the mayor does on this project, but she was telling me a little bit about it. It's been a challenge, and we want to congratulate Brinshaw Development and David for this beautiful project of affordable housing. The governor asked me to attend this today. He's in Davis County at his economic summit, and so he apologized for not being able to make it. I just want to highlight, how difficult it has been to get resources to provide affordable housing. Affordable housing doesn't happen naturally because it doesn't pencil. I'm I guess still a real estate developer and turned social worker as the state homeless coordinator. So I understand what it takes to make a project work, but I've never had to work with 12 funding sources before. We have to make it simpler. That's too complex. Can't we figure out how to make this more simple? We'd have more affordable housing. We could simplify that. Well, let's highlight the successes we've had in the legislature this last year. We were able to get a Utah LIHTC funding source, which will be a big help to more affordable housing here in the state of Utah. For more deeply affordable housing, our office secured $5 million in rent support, kind of like a voucher, but it will help now support a rent flow for probably about 400 to 500 units. And we'll go out for RFGA in June for that money. We also have some one-time money to fill those gaps that are needed to make these projects work. We got $55 million in the 2022 legislative session. We awarded those grants in September of last year. We've got an additional $50 million to do the same thing this year. A lot of good things happen to create more affordable housing, but we're not keeping up even with those resources. Unprecedented resources, and so we got to step up. We got to work with the legislature, and the key to success here is partnering. This wouldn't happen without some great partnering with Salt Lake City and others, Utah Housing Corporation, and others. So we need to step up that partnering also, and invite all those who are working on affordable housing to join or to make an application in June for those funding options that we have. Let's get more of this type of project on the ground. Thank you.
You know, if you made it easier, you wouldn't need us. So, I'm not sure I like that idea of making it easier. American Express has a very long-standing participation in affordable housing in Utah. And American Express stepped up on this project and put in $40 million of equity. It did so at a rate that I know people think about corporations and they think, well, they're doing it for this reason and they're doing it for that reason. But they did it at a level where their return was, I don't know whether they made any return on this project, but they did it at a level that made the project work and was really unheard of in the marketplace when they did it. So I'd like to have Terry Gentry come up, who represents the Richmond Group, and American Express invested through them, so he can talk a little bit about that.
The ache for home lives in all of us. A safe place where we can go as we are. As somebody who has experienced housing insecurity as a young child, I think we can all appreciate how important home is and to economic stability. We're very proud to be the financial partner for this. We appreciate the 25 years relationship with Grinshore. It's hard for me to really express in words the corporate sponsor investment partner in American Express. I know that some of them are here. I want to call out them by name. Michael Martinez, Annie Perazzolo, Dave Seeley, Adam Ross, and the entire American Express team. We're very fortunate in Salt Lake and in Utah to have a corporate community member that is so committed to housing. I can't express my gratitude for all that they've done to invest in homes. Thank you so much.
So do you like the way the buildings look? KTGY is our architect on the project, and I want to just call out the folks that were involved. I wrote them all down because there's 72 of them. Michael Militello, you would just raise your hand. Michael's the designer.
Yes.
Oliver, where's Oliver? I thought you did everything else, so I mean, I really appreciate it. Keith McCluskey is the senior person from KTGY here, and John Mulcahy was the construction manager that made sure it all went well. There he is. Thank you very much, John. KTGY, great job. Thank you so much. We used to have a lender on these projects, and since it was a little bit complicated, your traditional lenders, they ran away. They don't usually like to see this much retail and this much common space and this much complexity. Although I will tell you that Citicorp, which is the company that the bank that lent on the original project when it failed, begged us to do the next phase. We appreciated that when we complied. Ryan, where's Ryan? Ryan, you want to come up here and say a few words from System? They're our lender on the project.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here with all of you to celebrate the completion of this incredible project. System Capital Management was created with a vision to expose non-traditional institutional capital to the affordable housing asset class and bring new source of capital to the public-private partnership development model. There is no project in our portfolio that embodies the goal of our capital mandate better than the Aster. The number of public and private capital sources brought together to develop beautiful multifamily property that offers high quality and desperately needed affordable housing to low-income tenants is truly remarkable. What an incredible project that caters to the modern lifestyle of today's urban tenants while boasting state-of-the-art and inclusive amenities and recreational areas. I'd like to extend my gratitude to everyone who made this project possible, from the contractors who worked tirelessly to bring the project to life, to the city officials and the community leaders who supported every step of the way. And a tremendous thank you to our sponsor, Brynshore. Your performance far exceeded expectations during this difficult to develop times, while navigating supply shortages and cost overruns. Lastly, I'm excited for the individuals and families that will call the Aster home. This high-quality, affordable home will no doubt make a significant impact to those that need it most, providing opportunity not afforded enough previously. Thank you.
Cost overruns were not our fault, okay? They were something that just happened. It was called COVID and supply chain and increases. And our poor partner with Wadman Construction, who built the project for us, they had to make phone calls pretty much weekly saying, you know those windows that were supposed to be here last week? Well, they're not coming for 3 months. And you know that electrical switch, it's 27 months out. And so over that course of time, we've developed a really strong working relationship with the Wadman folks, and Chad and Dallin and Isaac. I promise not to embarrass them, any of them. Just raise your hands and say, there you go. They built this project. And this is not an easy construction site. This required a lot of planning, a lot of thought, and you did a great job. So thank you very much. Well, I don't want to say he's my favorite person on the project, but he is my favorite person on the project, so we're going to call Danny Waltz to come up here. Carly, would you come up here also? And, I just can't tell you again how much pleasure it gave me to have a partner in the city to work with to create something that's this wonderful. And Carly, want to tell her what you got?
So, hi, I'm Carly Brinla. I work for Brynshore. In addition to sharing a love for affordable housing, Danny and I also share a deep love for Star Wars. And those of you who don't know, Danny collects vintage Star Wars lunchboxes. So we went ahead and had one made for him that says, "The Force was strong with us at the Aster," and we are just so pleased to have you as a partner.
Dan?
I certainly don't deserve that. I'm taking it with me there. I hope that falls under the $50 limit for hips. So, I normally don't speak at these because there's often way more people that are better speakers than I am to talk at these that we defer to. But as my 8-year-old son would say, who's probably going to steal that lunchbox from me, this is kind of a big deal. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read what I'm saying, because I'm at that age now. This project is truly a story of redemption, as the mayor alluded to, and I'm not going to go too far back in the history of this project. But anyone who's been around long enough knows that this property sat as a abandoned 6-story steel concrete structure, rusting and covered in graffiti for a number of years. So it's cool. Now, I'm going to go off script, and I'm going to actually thank Dan Loughran of Cowboy Partners. And I know that's really bad form to thank another housing developer to ribbon cutting. But when I started at the RDA back in 2017, Dan had already been working on trying to salvage this project. And he immediately came to me and said, we've got to try to do something to preserve this opportunity for affordable housing downtown. So those conversations with Dan turned into discussions with Katie Lewis, who at the time was the RDA attorney. And while Katie and I determined that there wasn't much we could do to salvage it out of foreclosure, we did conclude that, well, why don't we walk across the street on the steps and try to buy it from auction? So the mayor was very kind in her words, but there did take some convincing 8 elected officials to let us walk across the street with a blank check to participate in an auction, because that is not something that you normally pitch in your first 3 months on the job. We got there and we walked over to the courthouse steps, and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. I had certainly never bought a property from auction, but I will tell you, I'm part of the Fantasy Football League. We do our draft every year as part of an auction, so I felt like I had some pretty good skills that I could bring to the table. As the auction starts and the bidding starts getting higher, obviously I'm sitting there going, how high should we go with our bidding? And this is where Katie Lewis really provided some amazing insight. So for those of you who don't know Katie, she's now the city attorney for Salt Lake City, and I have to take a moment to thank her and her staff for all of the work they do. Allison, Kimberly, Sarah, they do an amazing job of providing advice and direction on all of our projects, and they're invaluable. Some might even say they do a pretty good job of keeping me out of trouble, but that is not confirmed. But if you know Katie, you know that she is extremely intelligent, has an incredible ability to provide sound advice in even the most difficult of situations. So naturally, in this stressful environment, I turn to Katie for advice. And so I lean over to Katie as the bidding's happening. I say, Katie, how high do you think we should go? And Katie doesn't miss a beat. She turns to me and she goes, it's your job. So despite Katie's overwhelming concern for my continued employment, my fantasy football skills really kicked in. And I'm happy to say we were successful, obviously, in winning the auction. That was the easy one. This is where I need to thank RDA staff. It's not me, it's not my lunchbox. Jim Sarine jumped right in, didn't flinch at all at the prospect of now having to secure the property that was vacant and working towards demolition. I don't know if they showed up. Court served as our project manager, seeing us through the developer selection and the negotiation of the sale. He and Tracy put together the multiple levels of financial participation. We forgot the land note we provided too, so 2 loans, land note. That's how we get to 12. So there you go. But Court got us right up to the finish line before he left and jumped back to the private sector. Corinne jumped in, got us through completion. Thanks, Amanda. Hope I didn't give you too much stress over today because you had no idea what I was going to say and I wasn't responding to any of your talking points. Thanks to Robin and Felina for all the meetings, the closing. Thanks to Erin for all the financial participation. My amazing Deputy Director, Kara, who I think probably helped with just the mindset of staff. Thanks, honestly, to all RDA staff, current, former, everyone had a role in this. And a special thanks to Catherine, who is the designer of my custom vans that staff gave me for my birthday, that they showcase some of the awesome graffiti that was on this site before it was demolished. Somebody better get a picture of that. So They'll go grab at the lunchbox and taking me back to my childhood. So thanks also to our colleagues in Housing Stability for their involvement and participation in this. Mayor, thank you tremendously for you and the council and your supporting this from the very beginning. David, Whitney, thank you for sharing our vision on this, being crazy enough to say yes to everything and bringing it to life. It really is amazing. I look back at that comment that Katie said to me at the auction, and she was absolutely right. This is what the RDA does. This is our job. Today we celebrate job well done. Thank you.
I haven't felt this good in a long time. We have special partners on our financing side, and the PAB was really amazing because we were paid in the ass to them, and they had to stretch their rules quite a bit to help us make sure we got this project done. And so, John Crandall and Christina Oliver, would you come up and say a few words?
I think we're going a little off script today. I just want to thank everybody for coming to this grand opening. We did work very hard on the private activity bonding, one of the sources of funding for this particular project. I also want to mention how important this is. We focused a lot on the multiple partners who have been involved, but on the community. These types of units allow for community members to live and work close to their work environments. We depend on various income levels to help us maintain our economy. So these units, while important to be affordable, are also imperative to our continuing success as an economic powerhouse. I want to thank the developer, the whole team, and your daughter, if you wouldn't mind coming up. It has been a difficult project, but I will say that these three individuals have been some of the most phenomenal people that I've ever had the opportunity to work for. And I'm not going to cry, Danny. So we just wanted to, Chairman John Crandall and I wanted to provide to you just a small plaque and say thank you. And we sure hope that we get to work with you on many more projects in the future.
We have a camera. We have 750 cameras. Come take a picture for us. I do that. All right, Betsy, I'm going to try to go fast, okay? My wife always tells me these things are way too long and you talk too much, and so I'm going to try to be very fast. Is Dan Ackerman here? Okay, well, he saved me a speech, but Dan Ackerman is the chairman of the Salt Lake City Housing Authority, and Dan was a great partner in this project. They provided us with vouchers to help make the project work, but also helped us. Those vouchers allowed us to be able to serve people at the lowest income levels in this beautiful project. So I'm sorry that Dan or nobody from the Housing Authority is here, but a shout out to them. So thank you very much. Make sure that I get this right. Mike Gallegos, would you step up and say a few words? I think Dina couldn't be here.
Thank you, David, and congratulations from Salt Lake County. Like mentioned, we're one of the funders, many funders as part of this project. I got to say congratulations to the mayor, city council, the RDA, Kenny, great job. It's great that you took control of this property. I mean, you're right about the amount of time the state's done you dug away. So with that, I'd like to maybe on what Wayne had to say about this, particularly those who represent the public sector, the many sources of local funds that help support fill the gap in funding that is often missed in these types of projects for affordable housing. And that is in trying to make the process easier for developers. Now, I'm going to make this up, since there's 9 excuses of particularly if we were to sit around the table, particularly how we participate together on this big issue. And we had this conversation last week. And I don't know, Terry Gentry as well. I'd like to pursue that as an opportunity. I'd like to see if we could pursue that. So with that, bringing the Blaze and Mayor, congratulations.
Mike works closely with Jennifer Mendenhall. I don't know if she's here, but thank you very much, Jennifer. Appreciate it. David, where's David? There he is. Utah Housing Corporation just is amazing, and they have been such a great partner in this project. Provided all sorts of resources, but also has stretched the limits. Because a lot of things happened during this project in terms of tax code and changes in different regulations that needed to be looked at carefully, and they really worked closely with us to make sure that this project works. And Claudia, where are you? There she is. Thank you, Claudia. Appreciate it.
Thanks, David. Whitney, thank you for putting me at or near the end. Almost anything or everything worth saying has been said. And we've recognized everyone, so I'll spare you running back to the list. If I could though, Claudia, if you could wave. Claudia is our head of multifamily finance. Jonathan Banks, our chief operations officer. Cleon Butterfield, our chief financial officer. You still there, Cleon? And Grace Knudsen, our communications specialist. I just, on behalf of our team at Utah Housing Corporation, our board of trustees, congratulate you on this incredible accomplishment. What a privilege and honor it is to be a part of the project, and great to be with you all here today. And as my friend John Dougal would say, I'll be frugal with your time, and invite David back to the podium. Thank you all.
Okay, so the reason that we do all this is for residents. And so we have Stephanie Ramirez here and her really handsome son. And so we just really appreciate you taking the time to talk, and I hope you enjoy it here.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Ramirez, and I'm a resident here at the Aster Apartments. I'm a single mom with this 4-year-old who happens to be my roommate. A little background story of how we got here is after a few challenges and making tough decisions to become a single mother, I ended up without a place to call home. A big part of my story was Tressie from the management team, who reached out and encouraged me to apply to these apartments. And after a month of patience, I got the keys to the door of my very own place. I have met amazing people on similar life-changing journeys, trying to do better and be better and break generational curses. Since the door's open for me and my son here, I have become a better version of myself. Thank you. I am stronger mentally, physically, and in every aspect since I got here. And having the luxury of walking next door to get a workout in, having the different sounds of the city has to offer, and a parking garage to avoid the parking wars is what I look forward to the most. I am so thankful for the path that led me here and for the people who built these apartments that are home to me now. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's it. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this. And I wish you the best of luck. And if you have any problems, we're here a lot, so let us know. We have a couple councilmen that are here that we'd really like to you to hear from because they are the ones that support the project. Alejandra, would you want to come up?
Thank you. It is true that everything that is worth being said has been said here. I just want to thank again the RDA and their staff, and also share the commitment from us, the RDA chair this year, that the RDA is working on more of this. It's working a lot more projects like this. And David, you have picked some of the easy projects, it seems like. So we have one in North Temple. So that's easy. So I just want to share the commitment of this city and this council and the RDA board that the commitment to affordable housing. We need housing, affordable housing, and housing for families, where families can grow in the city and just walk down the street, take tracks, and go to work or go to the park right down the street. So we depend on this, and it is our commitment. It is the commitment of this city and this leadership and the administration to make this happen. So that's all I wanted to share. I love seeing Danny Walt's cry of joy after this project. I'm not gonna lie. I hope that we have a video of that. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Councilman Balamoros.
Hi, how are you? Well, thank you. I'm also going to be brief. Like Alice said, I am Ana Valdemoros. I represent District 4. And like the mayor says, I do have this sense of relief. I've been a downtown resident for years. I was a city planner at the city way back when this used to be some sort of affordable housing, and then it became a hole, and then it became a hole for longer and longer. So, thank you so much. This project is important in so many ways. From a city planning perspective, we've dreamed of midblock alleyways. We dreamed of taller housing developments. We dreamed of historic preservation with that. So Richard really brought that to us. So I so appreciate that. It's also important for housing affordability. Like Annie said, we essentially are replacing deep affordable housing that used to be here and we got rid of for so many years, and now it's back even bigger and better. So I so appreciate that. Thank you to everyone that was involved in the 12 steps to get this done. I'm just gonna call it that. And then lastly, I want to welcome the new residents. Welcome Stephanie. Welcome to all the new families that will be here enjoying downtown. And thank you to the RDA staff, but thank you for everybody that is involved, that actually invested in Salt Lake City, that trusts Salt Lake City and wants to work with us to make a downtown a better place to live for everyone. So thank you, David.
Okay, we're almost done, but I need to just say thanks you for a few more people from Studio Saint, who's our interior designer, Michael Francis and Claire McCormick. Where are you guys? Wave. You're going to see how beautiful it is inside if you haven't seen it yet. Realm, who did the outside. I looked at all the outside furnishings and designs. Thank you very much. Panic Button Media, Katie Eldridge, thank you very much. And now we turn this over to our property management company, EMG. So Tressie and Jason and Wendy, where are you guys? Back there in the end. So you're now responsible. So you have seen 12 tiers of financing, a million other people. The city is really interested. If you screw it up, they're coming for you. Anyway, folks, thank you all so very much. I can't tell you how excited we are. The whole pre-shore team came out from Chicago. Our controller, Monica's here. Our chief of finance, Michael McGovern's here. We just call him McGovern because we have 5 Michaels in our organization. So if you see him, just call him McGovern. Carolyn Steele is here, who was responsible for all the back office work and all the nuts and bolts. So we thank you all. Mayor, thank you. Sorry this went so long, but this is an important project. This is an amazing amazing project. I hope it really is a real constructive asset to the downtown. Thank you all so very much. Where is the ribbon?
3.